This is a wake-up call to the African leaders to take inventory of what is really happening in their countries. Do they really need the peanuts that are coming in as aid? You have your natural resources. You have everything you need to take care of your people. Why do you continue to be beggars? You take, for example, cocoa. Majority of the cocoa coming out of the world comes from West Africa, and yet it's only recently that African nations were allowed to add value to their cocoa. President Traore is standing up. He is saying the natural resources in Burkina Faso, they belong to the people of Burkina Faso. Niger is doing the same thing. Mali is doing the same thing. Every leader must look at what's happening in the Sahel nations to say, like anybody else, you must take care of your people. You see, it takes two to tango. If President Trump does not want a relationship with Africa, Africans shouldn't be begging for it. Africans must take a position and protect their turf. China wants to come and exploit Africa. They'll get away with it to the extent that Africans allow them. I think that what was done to brainwash black people around the world, long before they even left Africa, we are still suffering from that legacy of colonization, the legacy of slavery, where the people in power, they themselves don't believe they can do it. We still have leaders who believe you can't make it unless you're working with white people. We have individuals who think only something brought in by white people is what's likely to succeed. With that kind of mentality, it is a very difficult battle. Our battle to succeed, to unite as the African continent, it is a battle of the mind.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. Welcome back to my YouTube space. I'm happy for you being here. And let's talk about Africa. Let's talk about Ibrahim Traore. Let's talk about Black Americans. Let's talk about Caribbean people and Africans at large. Let's talk about Black people, because what I've seen these few days, I've seen the hand of God. Okay? Just like 3 or 4 days ago, maybe 1 week ago, Black Americans and South Africans had a fight, you know. They were accusing each other about culture appropriation, you know, and etc., about the New Orleans Zulu parade. It was something that I condemned because it is showing a very bad picture to the black fraternity at large. And we are not expecting black people to be fighting because this just give the oppressor upper hand to win over us. But right now, each and every black person is talking about Ibrahim Traore and supporting Ibrahim Traore of what United States want to do for Ibrahim Traore. They want to eliminate Traore. They want to do away with Traore. USA and France are uniting because of this one reason. And their reason is to remove Ibrahim Traore from power. But I have seen black people uniting. I have seen Black Americans talking about Ibrahim Traore. I have seen Caribbeans talking about Ibrahim Traore. I see Jamaicans reacting on Ibrahim Traore, saying that we stand with Ibrahim Traore. And that is why I've said I've seen the hand of God, because I've seen black people uniting for the right cause. We have already forgot all the fight and everything we had about Zulu parade. Now we're talking about something that is important with our own life. First of all, let's watch these clips and then we'll come back here and talk about it.
Our country has long been in a very complicated system. Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation, there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight or we remain slaves forever. I told you once, there are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other. Because every situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So, you must advise each other and not pay attention to certain remarks. Our country has long been in attention to certain remarks, even on some media. Not everyone is obliged to be patriotic. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the homeland. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writings, you must close your ears and move forward.
Every time Africa tries to rise, there's always some type of narrative that gets pushed. And this time,
very clear on why they're going after Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso. It's because Ibrahim Traoré is going to give Africans free education. And because Ibrahim Traoré is doing the right thing by its citizens and making sure that people there have a home. Ibrahim is looking out for the people of Burkina Faso, not himself. He is becoming extremely popular amongst the youth across the African diaspora. So it is no surprise to me that they are now trying to take this man out, because your accusations are definitely not working. And even the president of South Africa has stated they reject your allegations against Captain Ibrahim Traoré. The bottom line is the French and America are being pushed out of these people's resources, which is only fair. The audacity of the West to think that they should have some rights to anything this president has in his country is crazy. Because if anyone were to come to America and stake claim over our resources, we would lose our shit.
Vladimir Putin, this is what I'm talking about, man, when I say get my president real support. Because one thing about it, man, I love to see what the West is doing over there. I love to see them being able to build and take care of themselves. I love how they getting free health care. I love how they ran them cowards from France right back to where they came from. Real talk. This is what you call a real president. This is somebody that I would be honored to serve with, honored to serve for. Real talk, man. I understand why they hate your guts so much, because they don't like it when we real and we melanated, and they know we stand on business, and every day we put our life on the line to make sure that our people can wake up and live better, and that our kids can have a better future. Our grandkids can live the life that they supposed to live and don't have to keep being a slave to this system. Woo! That's why I love you, man. You hear me? Abram Traore, you are my hero. You and Melo, man, between y'all two, I don't know who I love the most. He a soldier, but you are a true leader. Real talk, man. Y'all like, share, comment until we go viral on this video, and meet me at the downtown City Hall in Dallas on April 30th. We protesting worldwide. Let's make this go viral.
When I said that I look at black men funny when they are so proud about serving in the military of former colonizers, I wasn't talking out of nowhere. Check this out. You see this coon over here. I'm not even going to say his name because saying his name is a compliment. He's a coon. This man over here wants to take out Ibrahim Traoré because apparently he's a dictator and he's hoarding the gold. And we've seen this formula over and over again. We want to give these low-income countries, these people, democracy. It's always democracy with these people. Huh? And they have to use, of course, a coon to justify their means. Before I was nice, but now I don't care anymore. If you are a black man and you are so proud to be high up in the ranks in the army of a former colonizer, there's two things. Either you need to reevaluate your life choices or you're lost. I'm convinced that these Western countries don't know what democracy means. I'm convinced. Because if you really knew what that meant, you would not be involving yourself in another man's country. You can't even fix your poverty. You can't fix your schooling system, your police crime. That country is cursed. It is corrupt. And you have the audacity, after all the problems that you guys have over there, you want to come to another man's country and tell him how to run their country? Are you stupid or stupid? Which one is it? This man needs to be protected. We need to protect this man. The amount of times there have been plots on his life is insane. No. from the diaspora, everyone from the diaspora on the continent, we need to find a way. I don't know how, but something has to be done, because this man is doing something for this continent and for everyone else. I swear, this man needs to be protected. That's all I have to say.
Just know that if anything happens to Ibrahim Traore, the international community will experience the largest African uprising it's ever experienced. Because y'all thought the Arab Spring was bad? Fuck with that man. Because you think that after many of us have realized how much money the Western world has made off of the back of African bodies, off of our own natural resources without paying us appropriately, and additionally treating us like shit, like we're the bottom barrel of people, matter of fact, we weren't even people. You think that after we've realized that, we're gonna allow you to kill another one of our revolutionaries and just roll over and take it? Okay. You think that after many of us have realized that Europe has unleashed some of its worst sociopaths on our continent, look up King Leopold of Belgium. Look up what he did to the Congo. Look up why there's so many amputees in the Congo. You think that after many of us have fully grasped and understood what you did to our continent, we're just gonna roll over and take it? And just a fun fact, in case you didn't realize this, the majority of young people currently live in Africa. By 2050, the majority of people under the age of 35 will inhabit the sub-Saharan African continent. Okay? And rather than the international community creating allies with this new group that is coming about, this new generation that is very different from their parents, because not only do we know what the fuck is going on, we are not like our parents. We don't think that we're less than people in the West. We've been here. We understand how it works. We know what the fuck is going on. Rather than using this opportunity as your redemption arc, y'all are doubling down. Emmanuel Macron, this is the hill you're gonna die on. You fucking weirdo and your weirdo wife. Leader of a country that's stolen so much, being a thief, this is the hill y'all are gonna die on? And you think that the new generation of African young people that are coming up are just gonna roll over and take it? Okay, go ahead. Because the way this man has garnered support from the, like, you don't feel it, you don't see it because you're not in the circle, you're not in it, so you don't see what I'm talking about, but try that man. Hurt a finger on that man and see what happens. Because all he's saying is, let us keep our shit. All he's saying is, let us keep our shit. Is that crazy? Because in the West, ownership seems to be a huge thing. Y'all are all about ownership and private ownership, and this is mine and this is yours. So let us keep our shit.
General Langley, I see that you are making waves on these social media streets, okay? Burkina Bay people have sent me to give you a message. They said they are very, very happy with Captain Ibrahim Traore. They are very happy with him. They don't have a problem with him. They understand what you are trying to do, but they are very, very happy with Captain Ibrahim Traore and what he's doing for them. So I thought that I would send you this message in case there was some misunderstanding. Captain Ibrahim Traore also kind of understands why you threw him under the bus and it was you. Because when he took this mission to free his people, he knew that based on history and based on what the West have done to their leaders, including Thomas Sankara, he knew that they were going to send you. So we were aware that you were coming. I just want to give you a little tip and a little side note. It's not only Burkina Bay people that are happy for him. In fact, the whole of Africa have sent me. Yes, this is a very risky thing you are doing. Look, Africans are very, very happy with Ibrahim Traore. To them, he's a hope of Africa. So I just thought that I would whisper this in your ear. That next time you go in front of your masters, I have a list of people that Africans have sent me to let you know that you can go after those people. But my brother, you know that in America, we are second-class citizens. Why you for do that? And Captain Ibrahim Traore, You know, the system that makes us 3/4 of a human being. Say, you know what I'm talking about. The system that makes us 3/4 of a human being. The only way we'll get out of it is if Africa unites. Okay? Right now, the Sahel people have united. And as Africans in America, African Americans, Black Americans, our respect is tied to the freedom of Africa. So, my brother, make you not do that. Next time, please call Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar Johnson, before you take this mission.
Guys, we need to keep Captain Ibrahim Traoré in our prayers. We need to pray to God Almighty that the Lord covers this man, because he is doing God's work in Africa. There have been almost 20 assassination attempts on this man. They are coming for his life like nobody's business. They are trying to lie about this man, to say that he's a ruthless dictator who doesn't want democracy for his countries, XYZ, just as an excuse to go in, kill him, and, you know, just really mess up the country and extract the resources. But you know why? That's not going to work. What you did to Gaddafi is not going to work in this day and age, because you know what? We've got social media and we can see what this man is doing to change his country. We could see with our eyes that he's doing it for the better. You may have been able to get away with lying about Gaddafi, all right? You may have been able to get away with that because social media wasn't that big back then. But now we can see it with our eyes. The change that he's doing for his country is astounding, and he's far from the wicked dictator that you are trying to paint him to be. Any weapon formed against him and his country shall not prosper. In just 3 years, he cleared Burkina Faso's national debt. He cleared it. He's building roads. He's building schools. He's made free education for all those in his country. He's taken charge of the gold mines in Burkina Faso, okay? He's taken responsibility for refining his own gold and not relying on Western powers who are just exploiting the country, taking all the gold, taking all the resources, and paying these poor people in Africa pennies for the resources. I'm from Ghana, and this man is so well respected in my country. And the way this man has transformed, absolutely transformed his country in such a short amount of time, has just shone a light on how pathetic these African leaders are. The other African leaders have been heads of state, like I said, for decades and not done one single thing. They've taken the money for themselves to send their children to private schools in Europe. They've just been pocketing the money, not caring about the people. Ibrahim Traoré's work has shone a light on all the corruption in Africa. In 3 years, look at what the man has done. In 3 years, he's done more than even some European leaders have done in their own countries. 3 years. And it shows we can do it. We can do it. But our leaders just do not want to. The Saudi government actually offered this man, and bear in mind, this man is a Muslim man, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. He's a Muslim man. The Saudi government offered to build 40 mosques or a certain amount of mosques nationwide in Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traoré said, "Thank you for your kindness, but we need the money to invest in our country. We could think about building the mosques later, but we don't need that right now. We need money to help develop the people." They kicked France out and their military bases. They've started making their own cars, producing their own tires. They've literally said, we have everything we need in Mother Africa. We do not depend on the rest of the world. Everything we need is under our feet. Why are we depending on foreign powers who their countries are not rich in natural resources? France is not known for their natural resources, yet they were exporting gold in large quantities, not from their own soil, but off the back of the miners in Burkina Faso, you know. So it's just this mindset of, we've got everything we need in Africa. We don't need France. France need us. And what I'm going to say is, if they kill President Ibrahim Traoré, if they kill him, okay, which is what they're planning to do, all right? If they unalive him, nobody should complain. No one should complain about mass immigration into Europe from Africa, okay? Because this man is building an Africa where we are self-reliant. We don't need to go to Europe. Our parents, our, you know, families, they don't feel like they need to go outside the country to have a better future. He is the beginning, the genesis of a self-sufficient and a self-reliant Africa. And of course, they want to stop this. So if they unalive this man, I don't want to hear anybody complaining about, oh, there's so many Africans in Europe, we need to limit mass immigration from these poor shithole countries. Shithole countries is what Trump called Africa. Full of shithole countries, right? Like,
This guy is setting the foundation for a self-reliant Africa where Africans rely on Africans. It's interdependence, not independence. But yeah, let's keep Ibrahim Traore in our prayers. Let's pray for his safety, pray for his good health and longevity, because he is laying the foundation of a strong and self-sufficient Africa. He is the voice of the African people, the young, intelligent Africans who are just full of life, all right? We are crying for change. It's just that our leaders don't want change. And Ibrahim Traore has shown us that if we get the right leaders, Africa is just unstoppable.
Welcome back. Black Americans and Caribbeans at large, they are supporting Ibrahim Traore and they are supporting Africa. As far as some will say that we ain't from Africa, but they are seeing what Traore is doing and they are happy with it. And that means that they see future of Africa. On the other hand, that means that they accept Africa as their motherland, because if they are so much interested with the matters concerning Africa, that means they love Africa, you know. So I have seen Black Americans commenting on this. I have seen Jamaicans, I've seen Haitians, I've seen black people from all over the world talking about the issue of Ibrahim Traore being threatened by the United States. Now, why are Black Americans and Caribbeans supporting Ibrahim Traore? Why do you think Black Americans and Caribbeans are supporting Ibrahim Traore? Because all these Black Americans, all these Caribbeans have this one sentiment: anti-imperialist. They have anti-imperialist sentiment. Many in the African diaspora view Traore's rise as a stand of Western imperialism, particularly the influence of former colonial powers like France. His government has been vocal, resisting French and military presence and seeking greater sovereignty to Burkina Faso. And this resonates with black communities who have long been critical of Western interference in African activities or African affairs. And that tells me one thing. That tells me that Black Americans, Caribbeans, they both love Africa and they want Africa to be great again. Because you cannot want something to be great again and yet you are against it. I know. So Black Americans are concerned. They are concerned about Burkina Faso. They are concerned about Africa. And they knew they've got a leader who will cherish or who is cherishing his own people, a leader who is fighting imperialism, a leader who is bringing liberation in the country. They already knew that they have got that one leader and they came in numbers in Burkina Faso. The other reason why Black Americans and Caribbeans are supporting Ibrahim Traore is because of the historical context of black resistance. The history of black resistance to colonial and oppression is a shared experience among Black Americans, Caribbeans, and Africans at large. Leaders like Traore are seen as part of a broader continuum of black resistance, drawing parallel to figures like Patrice Lumumba and Thomas Sankara. This historical connection fosters empathy and support across the diaspora. Now, one thing for sure is Ibrahim Traore is doing great for the people of Africa. Ibrahim Traore is trying to bring that what people have been looking for a long time, but they don't want it. They don't want Ibrahim Traore to bring along liberation for the Burkina Faso. They don't want Ibrahim Traore to build the country for the people, because they have always wanted Africa to remain poor as they want. They don't want to do anything for the country Africa. So if we have a leader who is showing ways, or if we have a leader who is showing that he can build this country from scratch and bring it to be a good country, they don't want it. And that's why they are joining hands, France and the USA. Tell me, is Burkina Faso part of France? No. Is Burkina Faso part of USA? No. Is Burkina Faso part of Europe countries? No. But why are they ganging up? We as African countries, we have never ganged up to fight them, because we do not need them. We do not need them, and we don't have anything to do with them. They are always the one who are poking their nose into our business as African countries. And then for them saying that that Ibrahim Traoré is not fit for Burkina Faso, that Ibrahim Traoré is using the gold reserve to build himself and to support his military leadership. Yeah, if he's doing so, what business do you have there? How do you know? And I talked about this yesterday because a lot more and more of Caribbeans and Black Americans are joining hands. And I was, wow, at least we are joining in a purpose. At least Black people are joining with a positive purpose. A purpose that all of us are looking and saying, okay, this is not unacceptable. And these Western countries have this, they always eliminate good African leaders. They are always doing away with our good African leaders. And the reason of this is because of their colonial legacy and control over resources. They don't want a leader who can restrict them from controlling the resources. They want a leader who can be their puppets. But Ibrahim Traoré is not their puppets. And that's why they always eliminate, or they are doing away with good leaders. They will come with propagandas and stories to tell you and to tell us, oh, it's like this, oh, it's like that. But deep down, they are the worst. They are our enemies, but they will create enmity between us and that good leader. So, a good leader, or Ibrahim Traoré, is a threat to economic interest. Ibrahim Traoré is a threat to the colonial influence. Ibrahim Traoré is a threat to what they want, is a threat to what they want. And that's why they did away with Patrice Lumumba in the Congo and Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso because they were threat to their own interest. They were not aligning with their own interest. Yeah? So you ask yourself, why are we always having good leaders and the Western are always poking nose and saying this and that? Why? So during the Cold War in 1947-1991, the United States and the Soviet Union Soviet Union completed for influence around, or they competed for influence around the world, including Africa. So many African leaders who promoted nationalism, socialism, and non-alignment were viewed as potential allies to Soviet Union, even if they did not embrace communism. So one thing for sure is Cold War politics and ideology differences can make them to wipe our leaders. And thank you very much that we are watching now as people. We have woken up. Black people have opened the eyes right now. We talking one language all the way from Jamaica, all the way to Black Americans, all the way to Africans. We as Black people, we are talking one language, and this one language is unity, and this one language is to promote Pan-Africanism rhetoric, because Ibrahim Traoré is the only one who can bring that, and we have seen him trying. We have seen what he has done. He has said, you the West, go away from here because you don't deserve this country. We don't give you chance here. And if you are given a chance, we are doing business legit. But if it's your things of betraying and just exploiting Africa, then you have to go. So Western countries, they are here, and they always support dictators. They always support the leaders who are they are yes leaders, because they want a leader who is a yes, so that they can run their own motive. But all in all, good African leaders, we have good leaders, is that we as the people of Africa, sometimes we are being lied, our eyes are being tinted. We can't see this leader to be a good one. They will tell us stories and we'll buy the stories. But right now, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And I'm praying for Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. I'm praying for the good Lord to protect him so that we can see a new Africa. Because modern day or the days of tomorrow in Africa will only be created with the leaders like Ibrahim Traore, with the leaders like Netumbo Nandi, with the leaders like who have the ability and the emotions and the capability like those of Thomas Sankara. So please, let's protect that. Tell me what you think in the comments section about this video. Until next episode, peace out.